teachers are the most important people in our society. I don't think anyone is doing more important work than our teachers. One of our sons is a teacher here in Massachusetts in public high school. We know the difficulties of that role today, the problems, the different kinds of problems that a teacher today faces. But the teacher is the essence. There are three essential ingredients to learning: the teacher, the book, and the midnight oil. That's what it takes. It doesn't have to do with buildings and playing fields. The teacher, the book, and the midnight oil. And information isn't learning. We have been sold again and again and again this theme that information is everything. Well, information is very valuable, it's important, it saves time, it can mean money, but it isn't learning. It has nothing to do with poetry, music, history. If information were learning, if you memorized the World Almanac, you'd be educated. If you memorized the World Almanac, you wouldn't be educated. You'd be weird. What are we trying to do in education? To teach people to think. And in our society, to teach people to think for themselves. We talk about our liberties, our freedoms, as important as any we have. It's a freedom to think for ourselves. John Adams' diaries, which are rich with observation and understanding and worry and jealousy and vanity and brilliant insight. Every now and then he would write, "At home thinking." I'm often asked how much of my time I spend doing research and how much of my time I spend writing. Perfectly good question. Very rarely does anybody ever say, how much of my time do I spend thinking? And the thinking is the most important part of it in all of our work. We've got to get over this idea that our teachers are sort of glorified babysitters who take care of our children or our grandchildren while we're doing the important work. They are doing the important work. He said that in the pages of history, seldom had there been such a situation where he was exchanging one army, new recruits coming in, while his other army, their enlistments up, were leaving. And that the British were so blind to what was going on, he considered close to miraculous. He was feeling very sorry for himself. I've often thought how much happier I should have been if instead of accepting of command under such circumstances, I'd taken my musket upon my shoulder and entered the ranks. Or if I could have justified the measure to posterity and to my own conscience had retired to the back country of Virginia and lived in a wigwam. If I shall be able to rise superior to these and many other difficulties which might be enumerated, I shall most religiously believe that the finger of Providence is in it. Now, there's some very important points being made in there. First of all, he's saying he really wishes he didn't have to carry the burden of command. He wishes that he had not been cast in that part. And that if he could have justified the measure to posterity,